From the moment this car left the lot, it went to work for the American family. Soccer practice, church, potluck, grocery runs, and the occasional road trip across the brand new interstates. It's the 1972 Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser station wagon. With its forward-facing third row to its racing stripes and hood vents, this car took care of business while Mom could feel like Darryl Waltrip. Just like the magical blend of music and lyrics, it's the perfect ride for today's very special guest, singer-songwriter Ashley Cooke.
You hate me now. Yeah, I do. It's A positive. Maybe God is also putting that in my life right now to feel that way because I haven't met the right person.
I'm Owen Pickard, and this is Country Stars in Cars Getting Coffee.
Hello?
Hey, Ashley?
Hey, what's up?
It's Owen from Jake FM.
What's up, Owen?
Someone said you like decaf coffee.
I could go for a decaf coffee. Are you down to get some coffee?
That's what I'd like to do if you've got a couple moments.
Okay, let me just put some clothes on it. How are you?
Can you not bring your dog because we're in a really nice old car?
You don't want to meet him?
I do, but I don't.
Dude, this is sick.
Kelby doesn't know this yet, but we're headed to San Antonio.
Let's go. I'm
right
down.
now.
Screw the show. Just kidding. This is so sick.
Now,
Whoa.
back home are probably going to want us to put our seatbelts on, but
Probably.
I don't know how to do it.
Is there even a seatbelt in this car? That's my question.
It's like being on an airplane.
They
where
were
you're
cooler
thinking
back
you're
then.
taking someone else's strap.
Right,
Have you ever
I'm
done
like,
that?
is this
And
your
you're
strap?
going, okay, thanks.
I-
And you just use the other pole.
Guys, I'm strapped in.
Are you
I'm
strapped
ready to go.
in?
I'm ready to go.
How do you open the door?
Well,
Is it this?
that was the old trick they had in the 70s.
Oh, what, they locked you in?
Have you ever been to Oklahoma City?
I have one time, and actually I think a couple times now, but the first time I came here, I stayed at a hotel called the Skirvin.
Yes. Did you see the dude?
Okay, so you know what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
every NBA player, you're right, there's
won't
somewhere,
sit there. They won't
Josh.
sit there.
It's on it for
It's
sure.
all-
I legit,
100%.
I came here for the first time, and I was playing like a writer's round years ago. I should probably talk quieter because it's fogging up the windows.
No, the volume doesn't make a difference.
Okay, cool. And I land, get in the Uber. He's like, oh, where are you heading? I'm like, the Skirvin. He's like, why would you stay there? I was like, well, it's just kind of the place that they picked. And he was like, that is the most haunted hotel in all of Oklahoma City. And I was like, freaking sick, dude.
And that made you excited?
No, I didn't sleep. And
Which is a great name.
Skirvin. Like, also great haunted hotel name too. Like the
Yes.
Skirvin.
I think that's a diagnosis at a vet clinic somewhere.
Right? You got the Skirvin.
You got your dog. I'm sorry, but your dog has the skirt.
He's got 3 weeks to live. I like to eat healthy as best I can, so when I'm on the
That's
road,
got to be hard doing this thing on the road.
it's so hard. I won't
go
lie.
on.
I remember before I had a tour bus, it was like really hard because you obviously don't have a fridge to travel with, so we were just living on Chipotle and Chick-fil-A,
Yeah.
which delicious.
Jim, did you know that the guac is extra?
It
I'll
is,
let you know that.
but it's also hot take. They need a new scooper situation.
What do you mean?
Because I've
What
watched
happened?
a Chipotle employee scoop guac into one of those little cups. It gets all over the cup. The cup is too big for the thing. Or the scooper's too big for the cup. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, we need like like one of those like ice cream scoopers that like it's the perfect amount for the to-go cup and you just go and put
This
it
is
in
the
there.
building that Ashley Cooke is dying
I'm
on.
dying on the hill.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. I'm like, I feel bad for them. You know? Is that just me?
It is, because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Have you ever gotten guac to go
I'm in
from
someone's
Chipotle?
very nice old car, and I cannot hear a word you're saying right now.
Thank you for your service. Yeah, literally, it's like.
But
I
can you
think they
stop
just-
traffic for us in the meantime? Thanks. That was the coffee place. We're gonna make a loop.
Do it.
Josh,
We'll
get
loop
out real
around.
quick. And do you still have my car keys?
Yes, I believe I do. You got your hazards on, Owen?
No, it's 1972 vehicle.
No hazards. Got it.
Vehicle.
There was no hazards. They had no hazard in there. And when you see me coming, that's when you back out. Okay? I'm telling you where it happened in town, Oklahoma City.
I'm like, the fog is fogging. I can't really tell what's going on. How are you driving in this?
I don't
Like,
know.
no, like, can I touch this or is it gonna be mad at me?
If you do it, it's fine. If I did it, he wouldn't.
Okay.
But leave him a little message. There you go.
I'm gonna say, thank. He's gonna be so pissed at me.
He's retired. He's got time.
All right, we did it.
Oh,
Beautiful. Oh my God, by the way, thank you.
Look at that.
Appreciate it. Okay, cheers.
Cheers. Thanks, Josh.
Thanks for getting coffee with me.
Coffee slingers.
Do you hit the table before?
Oh,
Are you a table person?
I'm sorry. I thought that was just for tequila.
I do it for everything. Is that bad?
It makes you seem like a raging alcoholic.
You know? Just kidding.
That's so fun. What about your world of family? Is there a family in your future? Or
Like if I want to have kids kind of a thing?
That's pretty much what I'm asking. Don't you love that question?
Do you want to have kids?
So tell me about
You know, I do. I want to be a mom for sure. The funny thing is, I don't.
What are you?
I'm 27.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know if I want to get married though.
Really?
Which is kind of a hot take because I want to have kids, but I don't know if I want to get married. I value marriage a lot. I really do. I think it's just. I'm recently single. Like October, my boyfriend and I broke up. Right, and it's not that I've kind of always had that I don't want to get married MO. It's more, and the funny thing is, my parents have been married since they were like, they met when they were 15 and 17. They're still married, and that's why it's funny because all my friends are like, wouldn't you think you'd want to get married then? Because you've seen successful marriage.
Gush over their love and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know what the Enneagram is?
What is
The
it?
Enneagram. It's like a personality test with
Oh,
numbers.
okay.
I'm a 7, which on the Enneagram, if you deep dive more into it, it's a lot of like your biggest fear of is being deprived. Like you fear like pain. Sounds weird, but it's like negative emotion in that sense. So I have this like raging fear of being trapped in anything.
Kind of.
In marriage, I don't want it to feel that way.
Yeah.
And I think right now it just does. Like, it just feels like that's where it would go.
That's what it could be.
Right. What's your take on it?
I wouldn't use the word trap. It really is a partnership. I mean, when we got married, it's very biblically based on what it is becoming one, and that's how we've always approached it.
Right.
And she might have a different opinion, but I'm like, I don't know what I would do.
Maybe God is also putting that in my life right now to feel that way because I haven't met the right person. You know, like if I was like I want to get married, then I've dated people that are incredible and are wonderful men and are phenomenal and would be great husbands, great partners. But it's just I was like, I don't know, and because of that, now we're not together.
Yeah.
So maybe that's God's plan. Maybe that's His whole thing is putting that on my heart.
And to be open-minded like that's quite unique, I think. A lot of people
Just gotta trust it, you know?
Yeah.
Trust the plan.
But isn't that what faith is?
Right.
Faith comes down to not just the big picture of believing, but I feel like it comes down to little things like that.
Right.
Why you're feeling that way? Yeah, because it's restricting the thought while you're busy with a tour. You really don't have time for it right now.
I don't know when I ever will. I think that's the thing too is that it's a tough career. It's a great career, but it's a tough career, especially with this because you think about even social media wise and people that I collaborate with, there's a lot of, are they dating? Is this a thing? Is this a conversation? Like it's a lot of like rumor mill of people, and people like that. They like to see chemistry between artists and all of that, and that's really tough for a partner to deal with. And so
Jealousy.
yeah, which I think is just the nature of that's your person. I've also just never really been like a big jealous person.
Yeah.
It's never been my MO. I think I'm just somebody who, you know, if I choose to be with you, I'm choosing to trust you, and if I don't trust you, I'm not going to date you. Right, and I've been in relationships where I've been cheated on, and it's kind of ruined my trust for somebody and stayed with them, and you learn as you grow, you know. Last year, I hit a point where it was weird because I don't want to sound ungrateful. It was an amazing year in the sense of the best year of my life where I got my first #1 song at radio, my first tour bus, my first big award on like the CMT Awards, like in front of an arena and TV and all this stuff. Like all the things that I was dying to have happen happened. But you know how it goes, is when the best things happen, the worst things happen. Literally in the same calendar year, both of my grandmas passed away. My dad's cancer diagnosis came again for the 5th time. My sister had like a weird thyroid thing that was freaking us all out. My mom had some health stuff. I mean, breakup, my boyfriend of 2 years. Like it all just hit at the same time. And I found myself in the back of the bus being like, I'm exhausted. And not just in like a I'm tired from touring sense, in like a
there's an emotional exhaustion. Yeah.
And I found myself, I'm not this person, and I found myself a lot of the time like going back to the back of the bus and being like, I just don't want to be here right now. Like I just feel.
And you had it all. Right? It was.
Right, and I was like, God, like why do I feel this way? I've worked so hard for so long. I mean, I've been in music since I was 11 years old. Like I've been doing this for so long. This is all I've ever wanted, and I was like, why did you pile on all of this stuff on top of all this stuff? Like I don't understand it. And I got to this point that I didn't even want to create music. I really didn't. And it was so weird. Like, I don't want to say the words quit because that's not.
Yeah, you just didn't want to create.
I didn't want to do it. I was just exhausted. Thinking back to last year, if there was ever a moment, which of course there are, where you're like, well, so-and-so has that, why don't I have that?
Yeah.
I was always asking God in the moments last year of being like, why am I not here? Why am I not doing this? Why am I not having this thing? And I look back and I'm like, I couldn't have handled that in that season. I could not have handled being on a certain type of rocket ship that other people around me were in that moment because I was just too much going on. And also, like to your point about God gives you what you can handle, if I didn't go through all of that, I think I'd be sitting right now going, what do I say for album 2?
Right. Exactly.
And so it's almost like he was like, right, I'm going to give you just enough for you to be able to handle and get through it and struggle, but like get through it to give you a perspective on my plan that it's not always going to be in your timing, but also to give you something to write about for the second album. And now I'm like, whoa, I have a lot to write about, God. Like, you gave me quite a bit here. Let's just put this into 12 songs. Like,
by the way, is it offensive as a songwriter for someone to say, man, growing up is getting old? Why hasn't that been written? You know what I mean? Have you heard that?
No, I love it.
You love it? Because either that's a great compliment or it's like, well, what do you mean? But I mean that as a great compliment because it's like, it's a great hook, phrase, title.
Yeah.
And it makes a lot of sense with just that before you ever even hear the song.
Well, it's funny you say that because the amount of times that I've had like those kind of like moments with that song too. I remember I was in my car driving somewhere and I was like, man, growing up is just getting old. And I was like, why has that not been written? Like I say that out loud. I'm like, what the hell? So
because if you don't, Old Dominion will.
Right, exactly. Oh my gosh.
When I'm around songwriters, I want to say something.
What do you mean?
That gets their mind going.
Honestly, that does happen often. Yeah.
Like if I would have been the one to say in this conversation we've been having today, which has been fantastic.
Likewise.
Right, Josh? You've been listening to the whole thing.
I think it's good.
If I would have said, Ashley, growing up's getting old, and I just started doing my thing, you would have been like,
that's a song.
And then
100%.
how much money would I make off of that? What's
I don't know. I feel like there are a lot of times where friends will say something in a conversation and I'll go write about it and I feel like we just don't, I don't even know if they know that they said it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, because they're just talking.
Right.
And as long as it's not like derogatory
Yeah. Like even
terrible.
my ex-boyfriend, we were getting breakfast a couple weeks ago. Long story. But
Okay, well now we have to
that's
stick
another
around.
conversation.
I thought this was over here soon, but now we're just getting started.
He's a wonderful man. Anyways, we were getting breakfast and he said something like, our song came on the radio a couple months ago and like, I don't want to hear it.
Oh.
And I was like, brilliant. You're like, I don't want to hear it. Like your explanation for this breakup, like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that song on the radio. I don't want to hear your name. Like, I don't want to hear it. And so I took that into the writing session on the lake that we did, and we wrote a song called I Don't Want to Hear It. And
So it'll be on this sophomore album.
we can hope. It's a pretty good song.
The real hard thing to understand is you saying that just the other day you had breakfast with your ex, but then you were you knew we were going to go back to that. I mean, I understand ex-husbands and wives like to
With
keep the
kids
kids
and
happy.
dogs.
Was there a dog? You have a little doodle.
I do. He's on the
Is
bus
that-
right now.
is
It's a
that-
tough situation.
But it was a good breakfast.
It was a great breakfast, and we still like are friends for sure. It's just one of those things that he's wonderful.
Well, you had said it wasn't like a bad breakup,
No,
right?
never a bad breakup. We've been friends for over 10 years now. So not like it's just one of those things where, like I said with the marriage thing, I'm 27, he's 33. So it kind of feels like he's ready to like,
Josh.
he's ready. But he's like ready for that era of his life. You know what I mean? And I'm just really not.
No,
And so it's just hard.
That's me.
Because I'm like,
that's where I am. And
right.
It feels right.
But also I'm not really one to just go like,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean. And so because of that, I'm like, okay, well, I want to be single to like have a fun era.
Yeah.
But then I'm not really one to like be
But
crazy.
can we still have breakfast?
But let's get breakfast. But I still
'Cause you
don't
love
hang out with
breakfast.
him. Yeah, exactly. Me? I don't even eat steak anymore.
Okay.
You've cut it out.
Well, I'm glad,
Okay.
glad this is coming to an end. No, I'm kidding.
No, I love steak. Do not get me wrong. I'm not like a vegetarian of any kind. Basically, your blood type
No.
determines what enzymes your stomach produces.
Okay.
Which
Which I don't know my blood type. You know your blood type?
you hate me now. Yeah, I do. It's A positive. Do you know what yours is?
No.
What?
I think I'm B
Who
positive.
knows their blood
You're B
type?
positive?
I think I'm B positive. Is that
Okay,
a rare
so-
one? I think it is.
I don't know.
Are you the universal donor?
Yeah, I think I'm the universal.
Let's
better
go.
get ready.
Maybe.
I think you're maybe good with steak.
Okay. I
Maybe?
like steak, so sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, yeah, that
I'm
sounds like a personal
fish and
question.
chicken. It's like my
Because of
thing.
your
Okay.
enzyme?
Guys, I sound like so granola right now.
No, it's
That's okay. Crunchy.
no-
Crunchy is the word.
Crunchy, crunchy granola.
Okay, I got it.
Like no steak, no sugar, no red dye.
For my phone.
Oh, you need your
You
phone?
think I'm gonna hold his
I thought
hand?
you wanted to hold my hand.
Did you know this guy?
This guy?
Yeah.
That's my production
That's your
manager.
guy.
He's the bomb.
All right.
Yo, what a fun time.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
This has been
Thanks
a lot
for
of
hanging,
fun.
for real.
You're excellent.
Give me some.
So there's